We'll be joined by Thorne Christendotter in just a moment, but today is a very interesting day in New York State. It's Republican primary day locally, and this is not normally a big election day. But what happened in Millerton, where there was a tie vote, which was just held last week in Millerton, a tie. So I think they have to revote there. But also today in the Republican primary, there are Republicans. Running against what? There's a Democrat. There's also the Amenia Strong party. So please exercise. What you should do is get out there and vote. The only discouraging thing about it's great to see so many people interested in running. The only discouraging thing is that in Amenia it's gotten a little personal, and social media doesn't help that out a lot. But get out there and vote today, and I'll say good morning to Thorne Christendotter. Good morning, Thorne.
Good morning. How are you?
I just found it absolutely amazing that in Millerton there was a tie. There was a tie. That very rarely happens in elections.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, that's why we go to the polls anyway. I look at a story and I read it again in Main Street magazine, and that was getting grounded. And I live on a Factory Street, which is basically the way you get to Mount Riga. And whenever summertime comes, the traffic of people going to Riga and to hike Riga and to visit Riga is really unbelievable. It's I mean, there's a car if it's a nice day, and especially on the weekend, there's probably a car going by every minute and a half to 2 minutes. And then at the end of the day, there's just a stream of cars coming down. People in the area who live here use all the different trails and all the different avenues, but also people who don't live here use it. And you're getting grounded article. Once again, I took a look at that time to get out and hike the Hudson Valley and beyond. I'm just amazed at how big hiking has really gotten for just about every age group.
We really noticed it last year, with COVID, that how many people were up here, and then, some of our national parks. I know, like at Bashbish and then Taconic State Park. I drove by or tried to get there, and it was like cars just lined up for miles in some instances, and traffic cones, and I know that at Bashbish, I think it was the forest rangers who were directing traffic. It was just, I've never seen anything like it, and I've heard stories similarly about a lot of the other hiking places. And my husband and I took our kids last summer to Greenport Conservation, and the parking there was just insane. And it's like, we all know these secret spots and have been using them, for years, and, as a little escape. And now it's like, everyone knows our secrets.
It happened here last summer with Great Falls.
Right.
I mean, it was packed, and so this year there are signs up on the road that definitely imply "Do not park here." They're trying to control that situation. The same thing in Kent, but once you're discovered, and once the secret's out, it's hard to get it out. And here's what's interesting about it, though, especially in Millerton, and Amenia is coming a long way towards this as well. I think the way Millerton deals with the rail trail and what they've done with the rail trail is an example of how you do it. There's actually plenty of parking in Millerton for people that want to park and go either way on the rail trail. There's easy access to the village, and Amenia is starting to do the same thing with the rail trail where they are. So, I mean, the towns really are beginning to take advantage and set it up, especially on the New York side, I think, to help those parking plans. I mean, when you get to Bashbish Falls, I mean, there's not much you can do because there's just parking that's there. But the towns are really working towards changing that. And I think anybody who visits our area is a plus. I mean, we've got Lime Rock, we've got lots of great destinations, and I think the rail trail has proven out, and all the other hiking trails. I know in Sharon, Sharon Land Trust has put out big signs and big push on all the hiking trails where that they operate. It's really become a very big part of tourism.
It really has, and I think it's, really fantastic that, folks are using the outdoors and nature, and we've had a few articles through the years talking about the mental, emotional, and physical well-being of us, and being in nature and being around, trees for one, and just breathing fresh air. And so I think, a lot of people have actually in the last year and a half have needed that more than ever and have appreciated it. And I think that's, part of the reason we have had this surge. So I think we're, unique in our area and the amount of places that we have, whether it be, land conservancy places or autobahns or just hiking trails or like the rail trail. So I think we're fortunate that we have so many options, depending on, do you want, a steeper mountain, or do you want a flat trail, or do you want to take the family on a bike ride, so we're so lucky to have that. And I'll add with the parking at Millerton for the rail trail. A lot of people don't know this, but there's actually a parking lot on South Center Street.
Yeah.
So when you turn by Merwin Farm and Home and the chiropractor, when you turn down that street past the NECC, there's a parking lot right on the right-hand side, a little ways down, and most people don't even realize it's there. But yes, there is plenty of parking, and there's a designated parking area right down there.
And when you park there, by the way, it's easy walking access too. It's not that it's hard walking access. Now,
No, the rail trail is right there.
yeah, I have a question for you. Are your trees getting eaten up like our trees are by the gypsy moths?
My trees at the house. No, we actually took down. My husband took down a couple of our pine trees because we had two of them had like a little fungus and a termite, I guess. But other than that, our trees seem to be fine here.
Boy, here in Connecticut, the mountainsides look like wintertime. The gypsy moths are here in a vengeance, and they just eat, and eat, and eat. The whole thing about it, it looks terrible now, but if the trees are strong, they'll come back next year and regain their leaves. But it ruins the rest of the summer, and it ruins what's going to happen in the fall with the colorful leaves. So now we are here on June 22nd. Are you already well into planning the July edition of Main Street Magazine?
It is hopefully going to press at noon today. I have a little bit to finish up, and then it's off to the presses, and then it's catch up time for us and start planning August. But July is always our biggest issue. It's our food and drink issue. So almost all of our content focuses on that, and whether it be featuring a business that's in the field, or we have Regina kind of created her own wine trail in the region, and Dominique interviewed a Winchell Mountain coffee roasting company, and we have quite a few great articles in it, and it's always a fun issue.
And how about the way Aminia's busting wide open with so many new businesses?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, Millerton is fairly well established right now, and yeah, there's some businesses that pop in and out, but Aminia is really it's amazing the amount of businesses that are setting up shop there. And I want to credit what you are doing as a magazine, and that is offering the ability. We've done this here since we've been on the air, offering the small independent business person reasonable rates to underwrite with us, so they can get their word out in this very tight economy. And you are doing the same thing there with special, basically almost kind of like introductory packages for people who have small businesses that just might want to be seen and take advantage of some of the tourist activity here.
We, since the very beginning, since I was even, pen to paper, figuring out how to put this magazine together, my content and pricing, and I spent so much time on the pricing, and quite honestly, I made sure that my prices are some of the most affordable in comparatively to all media outlets in our region. And I just, I know that advertising is expensive, and some businesses don't believe in advertising, and I respect that. But when it's done right, I think it can be super effective. And I have some samples of both clients of mine and then advertisers in the magazine who have been almost too successful with advertising that they had to pull it back. But it can be very effective, but it all depends on knowing your clientele and how to reach them. And we at the magazine, I mean, our ad rates start at $51 a month for some of our online advertising, and then goes up from there. And we always try to work with local businesses and individuals or organizations, and try to do what we can to help promote them. And you and I are in the same boat. We are dependent on them. We can't put out this source of information, and there's whether it be radio or print, without them. So we are indebted to them for their advertising sponsorships, and so we try to do everything that we can to help them out.
Well, we just we're also coming out after the pandemic now, and a year and 3 months is a long time for this to happen. So I think it's a great way to give businesses a chance where they don't have to take a big chance to get back and get their name out. So I think that's an important fact. I mean, what we do is try to get as much information out as possible, but let's be honest, we also really would like businesses to survive in this area and continue on, because without businesses, we would be basically just dead in the water.
Exactly. It's a symbiotic relationship. We need everyone here, whether it be residents or businesses, and we all work together and need to support each other.
Well, Main Street Magazine, of course, available for free at pickup locations throughout our immediate tri-state area, and also online, the companion mainstreetmag.com. Thorin, we'll speak to you again next week.
Sounds terrific.
Take care. Thorin Christendotter and Main Street Magazine on Robin Hood Radio this morning. You can find the podcast version, robinhoodradio.com. Click on demand, click on Main Street Magazine on Robin Hood Radio.